bold and brave. It was almost summer on the island of Sodor. All the engines were busy. They were looking forward to the start of the holiday season. One morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth Sheds. It's time to get the seaside station at Norby ready for the summer visitors. Molly, you ought to pick up the deck chairs and windbreaks and take them to the beach. Yes, sir, tooted Molly. And she hurried off happily. You're looking very cheerful, Molly, oiled Diesel. Molly told Diesel all about her exciting job. Haven't you heard about the curse of the cliffs? Oiled Diesel. No, tooted Molly nervously. Diesel snorted. Whenever the first train to Norby goes around the headland, a terrible fall comes down over the cliffs. Molly did not like the sound of that at all. The engine loses its way, and no one knows where it goes. Diesel oiled away, leaving Molly very unhappy indeed. She wished that she didn't have to go to Norby after all. Molly dragged her wheels slowly along the track. She was very worried. Finally, Molly reached the supply shed. Workers had loaded her freight cars with windbreaks and deck chairs. Molly puffed slowly on her way. She was thinking about the curse of the cliffs. Suddenly, she saw Harold the helicopter. Harold had bad news. Thick fog rolling in on the headland, Harold shouted. Puff carefully, Molly. And Harold whirred away over the treetops. Molly was very scared now. What if what Diesel said about the curse of the cliffs is true? Tooted Molly. I could get lost in the fog and never be seen again. Molly puffed fearfully towards the cliffs. Molly was approaching a tunnel when she saw Ben. Ben looked unhappy. What's the matter? Asked Molly kindly. I was enjoying myself until I met Diesel, said Ben unhappily. He told me a monster lives in the tunnel. Now I'm too scared to go through. I'm sure Diesel can't be right about the monster, Molly said. Why don't I go into the tunnel first? Then you can follow me. Molly puffed slowly into the tunnel. She heard a strange noise. Must be brave, she told herself. Molly was determined not to show Ben she was frightened. She screwed up her courage and puffed slowly on. Then, the noise grew louder and louder. Suddenly, Molly saw two eyes peering at her. Now she knew that Diesel was right. Bust my buffers, wheezed Molly. There is a monster. Molly wanted to go back, but she couldn't. She had to help Ben. Must be brave, she chuffed. Molly had to go forward. But as the smoke started to clear, Molly saw that the eyes weren't eyes at all. They were lights. And the thud, thud, thud wasn't the noise made by a monster. It came from a machine beside the track. It was a generator to power the lights. Then Molly saw picks and shovels. She realized that workmen must be working there. Diesel was wrong. There's no monster in the tunnel after all. Soon Molly came across the workmen making tea. Molly tooted to the workmen happily. Ben was also very relieved. "You're a very brave engine," said Ben. "Now I can finish my job." And he puffed away. Molly was happy to help Ben. Then she remembered that she still had to get to the beach. And she remembered Diesel's warning about the curse of the cliffs. Molly felt very nervous as she puffed towards the headland. So nervous that she stopped. "I can't go any further," Molly tooted, and she began to reverse away from the cliffs. Then she had a thought. If Diesel was lying about the monster in the tunnel, maybe he was lying about the curse of the cliffs, she puffed. She started to go forward again. I'm not afraid, she chuffed, as she steamed carefully through the mist. Suddenly, the mist rolled away and the sun came out. Molly saw that the cliffs were beautiful. Diesel just wanted to frighten me, Molly whistled. Soon, Normie was up ahead. At last, Molly reached Normie Station. Molly knew that soon the beach would be filled with happy vacationers. I should not have believed what Diesel said about the curse of the cliffs, wheezed Molly. In future, Molly decided she would believe in herself.